HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing. Claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that you're looking for.
Good evening, Alternative Healthcare Career Group. This is Dr. Mike Shua, physical therapist. And yes, I am your Alternative Healthcare Career Coach. And tonight, I am your host for tonight. But before I keep on going, I keep on saying that, all right? But today, we've got a special guest. But before we keep on going with our special guest, I just would like to give a special shout out to, there you go, Mr. Dr. Aaron LeBauer. Okay, Aaron LeBauer, he said 80% is good enough. You know, a lot of us here, we're therapists. We want everything 100%. We want perfect. We want 100. Even my wife, who is a tiger mom, is that how you say it, tiger mom? She wants 101% all the time. And I told my kids, hey, 80% is good enough, right? 80% is good enough. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching live, please comment live. We want to know if you're watching live. And if you're watching on a replay, please comment replay. So before I keep on going, every time I go live, we have this special inspiration. Today is Thursday, November the 19th. It's 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. It says here, give yourself permission on a daily basis to become the next best version of yourself. Before I keep on reading, I just would like to give a shout out to Mr. Jimmy McKay. Hey guys, if you haven't watched and seen and followed Mr. Jimmy McKay's podcast, you gotta check it out. He's got several podcasts, the NPT Studycast, the PT Pintcast. Gosh, you gotta follow that show because first of all, you're going to learn a lot. Second, you want to hear his beautiful voice, that DJ voice, right? That DJ voice. What's going on, Robert? Robert Bergorn. Is that how you pronounce your name, Robert? I'll call you Junior, brother. And of course, Chris, Mr. Chris Erickson. Oh, Chris Erickson. I know Chris. What is going on? So there you go. Thank you very much, Jimmy, bringing in the inspiration. Yes, sir. You are an inspiration not only to me, but to a lot of people. Well, let's go back to this, ladies and gentlemen. Give yourself permission on a daily basis to become the next best version of yourself. Not next week, ladies and gentlemen. Not the other day. Not 2 weeks from now. Daily. You got to do this daily, ladies and gentlemen. Just like bathing. Just like bathing. You got to do it every day. Inspiration is, you need to do it every day, ladies and gentlemen. Motivation can only last, but the inspiration needs to be every day. Give permission to yourself, ladies and gentlemen, to be the best version. When you get out of the morning, I learned this from my wife. When she gets up first thing in the morning, she goes to the bathroom, obviously, right? Brush her teeth, puts on her makeup. She always tells herself, I hear it. She would always say, oh gosh, I'm so beautiful today. If you are the type of person that you say, oh gosh, I'm crazy when I look at the mirror, you got to change that words because there's power over what you say, ladies and gentlemen. If you keep on saying you're going to get better, guess what? You're going to get better. Just like with our patients, right? There are two types of patients. The one that really wants to get better and the other one who doesn't want to get better, right? And if you really want to get better, if you want to find your alternative healthcare career, bam, you got to declare, give permission to yourself. So, speaking of giving permission to yourself, tonight we've got a special guest. Actually, he's not a guest. He's actually one of my mentors. One of my many mentors. Without him, I wouldn't be here talking. Starting my own business. Creating my own small little private practice and learning all about Medicare. So, his name is actually Anthony Maritato. He's actually a multi-clinic owner. A multi-clinic owner. Not only a clinic owner, obviously he's a physical therapist. He's a mentor. He teaches people how to start their own business. He teaches people how to understand Medicare. He teaches people how to create courses. He teaches people how to be just awesome in YouTube channels. So without further ado, I bring in Mr. Tony Maritato.
The way you say that reminds me of when I used to be a boxer. When they would announce the boxers coming out, it sounded exactly like that. I felt like I just transported back into my early 20s.
Really? So that was like 2 years ago? Tony?
Yeah, right.
So you really were a boxer?
I was. I think I told you I boxed in college. I did Kali and Muay Thai kickboxing before college, like grappling, martial arts, jiu-jitsu, jeet kune do, all of it. My life was dedicated to martial arts, and I lived in the dojo for about a decade of my life.
Oh, wow. I know that you are a personal trainer, you and your wife, and she was a PT. Am I correct?
Yep.
Everything like that. So I didn't know that you were like a boxer or something. I got to be careful with you then, right?
It's funny because I'm the most mild-mannered person in the world, but there's just something about getting in a boxing ring and knowing somebody wants to punch you in the face that really makes you say, okay, are we going to do this? It's crazy.
I was just actually imagining Tony, very like what you said, mild manner, and then boom, you got like, oh gosh, you're probably so quick that time, like Manny Pacquiao or something, right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, Tony. Well, anyway, well, first of all, thank you very much for coming over. I really appreciate you, Tony. And I know for those people who are watching, ladies and gentlemen, Tony really guided me when I got fired last year. He guided me and supported me, step by step. And here I am now. And even before, I was already following him and learning from him. And I just want to tell him, thank you very much, Tony. But without me crying, sir.
Yeah.
Could you tell us what do you really do? We see you all over, sir. We see you in your Facebook page. We see you promoting your Medicare billing, and we see you teaching people about knee replacement. So, what do you really do? Where you are, and how can you help us find our alternative career, sir?
Yeah, let me just take a step back, and for those of you who don't know me, my name is Anthony Maritato, but I go by Tony. And so, long story short, I am a creator. I love the creative process. I'm obsessed with the creative process. So, back in 2000, I was actually finishing an internship for my undergrad. And I met a therapist who worked for a hospital. And I was like, hey, I want to open a physical therapy clinic. I love physical therapy. This is awesome. Like, what do we need to do? And he talked to me about it. And he said, well, you get a job, you work at a hospital, you build a resume, you get to know physicians. And then 5 years later, you open your clinic. I was like, are you crazy? No. So long story short, I went out, I worked for the hospital for about a year. I was not a physical therapist. This was 2020. I'm sorry, 2000. I was not a physical therapist, opened a personal training studio. I was a personal trainer. I met the best physical therapist I had ever met in my life. Now she's my wife, but back then she was an amazing therapist. She came on, she did the therapy. I did the personal training. We were all cash-based out of network. Over the first year, we transitioned from all personal training to all physical therapy. The next year we got in Medicare. And it just grew. And we were in the position, like so many of you, we were successful. We had boatloads of money in the bank account, but we had no time for ourselves. We weren't married. We had no intention of getting married. We were just coworkers. but we were like, we can't survive this. I can't go in at 5 a.m. and leave at 8 p.m. every day of the week. I can't do it. So that's when we took the step back and we said, we need to learn business. We need to, how do we turn this into a business instead of a job? I ended up in this time frame, I think it was 2003, I got into PT school because she was like, people will not trust you if you're not a therapist, and you love therapy, go be a therapist. So we had operated 2 clinics at that point. I went to PT school down in South Florida. We were living in Sarasota. It was a 3-hour commute. I'd go down on Monday. I'd come back on Friday. I'd help in the clinic when I could. We opened a 3rd location in 2006. I graduated PT school. We got married. We moved to Ohio. We opened 2 more locations. So just for context, we had grown from an 800 square foot space, just cash pay, to 5 clinics across 2 states, full staff, PT, OT, admin. We were doing really great. But our focus from day one was we wanted this to be a business. We didn't want this to be a job. We wanted freedom. When we did decide that we were going to get married, we were going to have a family, we said our priority is time with the kids when they're small. Like, Mike, I see you with the kids all the time. Like, that's what I do. So we said, okay, we're going to build a business that's separate from us. It has to pass the bus test. Meaning, if I get run over by a bus tomorrow, my clinic operates without me because I'm not vitally needed anymore. We've built systems, procedures, policies. The team is amazing. They do everything, right? And so, we moved to Ohio in 2006. I said we opened the 2 clinics here. We got married in 2006. We started a family in 2008. We have 4 little boys, 6th grade, 4th grade, 4th grade, and 2nd grade. And really, I mean, I couldn't ask for a better life. I don't want more business. I don't want more money. I don't want a nicer car, a nicer house. I want what I've got. Time with my kids, time with the family. I get to go into the clinic a couple days a week. I work a couple hours in the morning treating patients. I get to meet clinicians like you and the people here listening. And I get to teach a little bit. Like that fills my tank. That makes me happy. My wife is still a therapist, but she's a full-time mom. She does boosters and PTO and all the stuff associated with school. And so it's great. That's where we are. That's who I am. That's what I deliver. And if anybody wants to know how I got here, I'm always happy to share.
Oh, wow. That is a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you guys are still watching live, please comment live. Watching on the replay, please comment replay. I was just writing things down. If you are not writing things down when Tony is talking, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you're going to I don't know what you're going to do. In his course, in his class, he likes to tell people to write things down. Literally. Why? Because when you see it, you forget. When you hear it, you remember. But when you're actually writing it down, like what I'm doing right now, and like what even Tony is preaching in his classes, you're actually understanding it. So you got to write things down. So going back there, here are some nuggets of what Tony said. In year 2020, but it's not. It's year 2000, he said, that he was already running cash base. Year 2000. That's just right after 2008, 2009, that economy went down. He was already running cash base. Imagine that. If he can do that time, people can do it now too. Am I correct, Tony? Before I keep going, Dr. Vincent Gutierrez, what's going on, Vincent? Thank you very much for watching live, sir. There on YouTube. You look at that. Look at that picture of Vincent there.
Vincent is a beast.
Yeah, he's like crazy lifting there, man. So anyway, going back to what Tony said, and he also said they needed to learn business. If you want to achieve and find your alternative career, ladies and gentlemen, you got to learn the business. Whether you become an employee or an employer, you still need to learn the business. You're already doing therapy. You have to learn the billing and everything like that. So why not learn the actual in and out of the business? Understand it. You don't have to immediately start it, but just learn, understand it. Another thing that he said, this is really cool what he said. They did what made them happy. You got to find something that really fills you, ladies and gentlemen. If it's not filling you, guess what? It's gonna be empty, right? And I think this is what Tony is good at. He said he's a creator. You gotta start creating. You gotta start finding what fills you in, the happiness. If the therapy thing is not giving you inspiration or happiness, well, go ahead, find something else. But if it brings you happiness, gosh, go ahead, find it, find that passion. And I think, and I'm sure Tony is going to agree to it. His passion is in creating something out of nothing. That's where we're good at. Tony, I'm gonna bring you back. There you go, Mr. Tony Maritato. We got him tonight. Tony, so I know you were a personal trainer, then you became a PT because your wife told you so, right? And
That's
then
right.
you started the business and everything like that. You got kids and everything. So on the highest time, Tony, how many clinics did you had, sir?
So we grew to 5 clinic locations. We were operating across 2 states. I want to say we had a clinical team of about 22 and then an admin team to support that, and it was one of those things where I think this is important. You have to have context, like I said, around what it is that you're doing. So associates of mine, peers of mine, they knew what they were doing as well. They were going out, they were going to open as many clinics as they could. They were going to make them profitable, drive revenue up, and they were going to sell it. That was the thing in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. That's what was going on, so you'd get 10, 15, 20 outpatient clinics and you'd package them and sell them to a private equity. And then that private equity would package them and sell them to somebody else. We kind of knew that wasn't the direction we wanted to go. That's not what either of us wanted. We wanted to build a reliable asset. We are still therapists at heart. Therapists at heart mean we're conservative, mean we're going to sacrifice, and we're going to do things more for what we want. And it's not always about the dollar bill. It's not always about the money, So we wanted to practice the way we like to practice. We believed we had a better way to do it than the hospital. We believed we could see fewer patients and make a little more money in the process. I'm not the person that's going to take Mike Chua, although he has the potential from where he is now to $10 million a year, because that's not my passion. That's not what I want to do.
Can you say that again? $10 million a year.
Yeah, I tell all my students, I'm like, I'm not the guy that's going to take you to 10 million. There are other guys in the profession and that's what they do. And they're amazing at it. And I would never take anything away from them. I'm the guy that's going to connect with the therapist who's like, hey, I still love treating patients. I still want to keep a hand in the clinic. I've got enough. I'm happy. My kids are secure. College is paid for. I just want to do what I love doing. Another whatever $1 million in the bank isn't going to make me happier or make me live a better life, right? Like those are the people that resonate with me. Those are the people that I connect with, and people who love the process. Just like you, Mike, you got a hand in everything. You're always out there. You're entertaining, you're creating, you're inspiring. Like that's the stuff I get excited about. I had 3-4 conversations today with therapists out there who are phenomenally bright and intelligent, but they don't necessarily have the grasp on how do we package that passion they have. How do we access it? Like I always think about the flea market stuff that you and your wife do. And I'm like, I think of the alternative healthcare career group. I'm like, if you guys would just clean out the closet between your ears, and you took the knowledge you have in there and put it into a digital course, you would be making so much money. It would be ridiculous. Like your head would be spinning. When I look at the money that I bring in from content and stuff that I would do anyway, it's crazy. The technology and everything that's out there. So people need to learn that they have it between their ears, but it's not helping anyone there. We need to get it here on camera in front of the people who need it.
That is very important. I like what Tony's directing, ladies and gentlemen. That is the reason why we teach you, ladies and gentlemen, the word mentor. MENTOR, ladies and gentlemen. Letter M is meet a need. You got to find that need, ladies and gentlemen. You got to meet that need, meet that niche. Because once you find that niche, everything will follow. What's the next letter in the mentor method? Is letter E. You educate. And that's where Tony comes in. He found that need, right? Meet the need. And then letter E is educate. So he starts educating people. You know, his niche is Medicare billing. Learn medicarebilling.com. Straightforward. And then he educates them under that learn Medicare billing. What's the next letter on the word mentor? It's letter N. He networks. He networks with different people who's actually teaching the class or who's actually doing it too. He's got multiple networks there. What's the next letter? The letter T is team. He's been talking about the word admin. And you have to have a team, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot do this on your own. You need to delegate. Delegate or die. You have to learn how to team up with other people. What's the next letter that the mentor word has? Is letter O. It's one-on-one. Tony does that too. He does one-on-one teaching. And last but not least on the word mentor is letter R. It's repeat. Repeat or recurring revenue. And that's what Tony is doing. That's the reason why we do the class mentor method. So speaking of the mentor method, Tony, which you are actually also doing, you have that that niche and you educate them, right?
Yeah.
So how do you educate them? How can we start educating people? You know, we're naturally educators.
We are.
Yeah.
I mean, clinicians are communicators. We're educators. You know, we've been kind of stuck in this mindset of, hey, everything, as an example, everything has to be a medically necessary covered service. Well, heck, no, it doesn't. You know, no, it doesn't. And that's one of my big things. So I'm always looking for that niche, that opening, that gap in the market. And when I came into social media, I think I came in like 2016. It was one of those things where I didn't come in expecting to do anything. I was like, hey, I'd love to connect with therapists. I'd love to share my frustrations. You know, what are other people dealing with? We started talking. I started answering questions. I think one of the greatest assets of having you, Mike, and me is we have history. We have track records talking about failures. I don't know if you wanted to talk about this later, but I've got $60,000 failures. I've got $100,000 failures behind me. And I learned lessons, you know. I'm happy to share any of those stories because they're pretty funny. But it's one of those things where I take those experiences and I tell my students all the time, like, look, you guys can find the information. There is no lack of information out there. What I bring to it is context. You know, you read a Medicare guideline, you understand the guideline. What I do is bring color commentary to say, this is how that guideline actually applies in a real clinic. This is what you're told to do. This is what most people do. This is what you should actually do. And so bringing my history, my experience, it's the same in patient care. I've positioned myself crazy as like an expert in total knee replacement. There's thousands of therapists 100 times better than me when it comes to total knee replacement. I just put my name out there. That's it. And then momentum built behind that. But what I tell people that have had a knee replacement is, look, you are only comparing yourself to you and to maybe one or two people in your family. I've seen several hundred individuals who have had knee replacements. I've got history and context so I can bring a different perspective. That's what I do for my clinical students. That's what I do for my patients. And I think that's what the real value is. And looking at your group, Alternative Healthcare Careers, there are clinicians with 20, 30, 40 years of experience. They can capture the value in that experience and bring it to somebody who's new to the profession, even somebody who's 10 years in. You can teach me how to write a better note in less time. I will pay you thousands of dollars for that. You can teach me how to work with a client that I had a client 2 days ago. She came in 3 cervical fusions over the last 10 years. Her first words out of her mouth were, I don't know why I'm here. I know it's coming from my neck. I need an MRI, but the insurance company won't pay unless I do 6 weeks of therapy. Okay, you put that into a digital course and you teach new grads how to work with that individual. That is a gold mine because they're never going to learn that in school. They're probably not going to learn that on a clinical rotation. If you've been in the profession 40 years, you know how to deal with that person. Those are the experiences I want you guys to capture and to deliver and to monetize, because you can do it totally free right now with the technology that's out there. It's just incredible, the opportunities.
Oh gosh, did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? So much value there in what Tony just mentioned there. First is the word free. There's a lot of free stuff out there, ladies and gentlemen. You can start this with no money down.
Yeah.
Literally no money down. But the key here is you got to do it. You got to start doing it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. If you've seen my first video, or I'm going to apologize now, ladies and gentlemen, but look at Robert here. Robert, thank you very much. Said, love that idea. Oh, gosh. Tony has so much ideas. Like, it's just so boom. It's like every time I read his post, it's like, oh, gosh, I need to do that. Well, anyway, I can't do everything that he says. But just imagine the mess that you have right now is actually a message for somebody else. The things that you don't understand right now, and then you found that answer to it, boom, that's already it. And to tell the truth, that's what I've been doing too in the Alzheimer's group that I have. And that's the reason why I teach the class Alzheimer's Disease and Dementia Care Seminar, because everything is connected. We have that free book. Okay, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. We got that free book that they download on my website, right? It's free. And if they want an actual physical copy, they buy it at Amazon for $3. And that same book, ladies and gentlemen, is that the book that I give to the doctors and tell them, hey, doc, the book, I got my number at the back. You send if they need them, if they have dementia education or fall or whatever, here's the book at the back. Now, if they want information on the course, we sell a course for like $37 course. That's very, very embarrassing course that I did like 2 years ago. The camera is so blurry. And I was so boring. Go check out my website. It was like, hello, everyone. Tonight we are going to talk about the dementia. I was like that. And people are still buying it, ladies and gentlemen. So just go from free to a low budget, like a $3, $4 ebook or book, and a course for like $47 And then this course here is the certification course. That's my high ticket. For me, it's high ticket. It's $247. And then go from there. And we average probably around, before COVID, we had like 20 people, 30 people per month. Now it's like 10. It's just still not bad. An extra income, ladies and gentlemen, which I teach every month. On the low side, let's just say 10. So 200, let's just say at $200 because I give a $47 discount, extra $2,000 a month teaching a one-day seminar, a CEU class. And if I can do it, a foreign trained PT who doesn't even speak perfect English, you guys here in Alternative Healthcare Career, you guys can do it too. All you need to do is follow Tony's method. Follow Tony's method and you will never go wrong. Tony, I know you got so much value there, but we will just go on a real quick break, sir. All right, okay. We will be back. Alternative Healthcare Career Group.
HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing. Claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that you're looking for.
Yes, welcome back. I use HelloNote in our documentation system. Thank you very much, HelloNote, for that quick video there. It's so easy to use. You know, I just admitted a new eval today. It took me the fastest. I'm kind of slow. I'm really slow documentation, kind of old. I have to wear eyeglasses. I have a small computer. I got a small computer here. And the fastest for me, it's really fast. It's 29 minutes for a new eval. Some people could do it probably faster. They got the template and everything, but this is all from manually putting it in. So check that out, hellonote.com. Check it out, real good EMR.
A new rehab device is changing lives in physical therapy and possibly impacting those with debilitating diseases.
They said I was never going to run, and I'm running. The first day they put a new gait on me, I immediately felt my leg again.
An invention geared towards athletes has inspired a new tool for physical therapy throughout the UP.
TV6's Nicole Buckman has more on the life-changing new gait device.
Improving therapy outcomes and restoring hope to patients. The NewGate is a patented wearable harness system comprised of shoulder straps, a waist belt, and limb straps, all interconnected by strategically placed elastic bands.
There was a point where I just wanted to stop and give up. The new gate kind of gave me that hope again.
A patient introduced me to the new gate. Clicked right away that it would make sense. I've been using it with patients on a regular basis ever since.
We're a team who cares in a way that is maybe unique for this day that we live in. And there's something within me that is really fulfilled by working on this project and watching what it can do.
Yes, check that out, thenewgate.com. I actually signed up on that 30-day trial, and we've been using it to two of our clients, our patients, and one, she had like kyphosis and everything like that, and she has the shuffling gait, but she denies she has Parkinson's, but she does have Parkinson's. You know, that's the first stage, right? Denial. Some people, the denial they know is actually the river in Egypt, but actually she is in the denial stage. And she is kyphotic, and we put that strap on her shoulder, and it automatic, not really automatic. You know, I strap it. You know, there's a band, you pull it on the back, so she was straight. And the shuffling gait, we put that band, and it promoted dorsiflexion. And I wish I invented that. Gosh, it's already in my mind. When I was in PT school and doing PT when I was back home in the Philippines, it was already in my mind. But look, somebody invented it. And guess what? It wasn't even a PT who invented it. It was a sports guy. His name is Benga. So you got to check it out. It's 30 days free trial. And I think Emma's going to raffle one soon for free. So you got to check it out, ladies and gentlemen. All right?
Why did I choose autonomy?
Why my agency is empowered by autonomy.
Why did I join autonomy?
Why I chose to use the autonomy platform.
I chose autonomy because it allows me to have a work-life balance and provide skilled clinical care for my clients.
I chose autonomy because of the amazing support structure that it provides to my consumers and staff.
I feel that autonomy is one of the only platforms that looks at my clients with disabilities as a person, not as a number.
The autonomy platform serves as our back office, therefore allowing us to use our skill set to serve our consumers best, to see the best possible outcomes.
The autonomy talks about different things. They talk about value-based care. They intentionally limit the number of clients we serve so that we can stay focused on the main thing and not get overwhelmed. That we can focus on providing for our people, meeting their needs, helping them to develop a level of independence and satisfaction with their lives, and I can get behind that. That's why I'm here.
All right, welcome back to Alternative Healthcare Career Show. That's autonomy for those people who wants to start their own home health agency, not Part A, not Part B, but Medicaid waiver system. So I also have that. We're working on it right now. It's a long process, but check it out. I wish I have that British accent, that lady, right? So every time I hear it, sounds so professional, right? Even though they say a bad, I mean, not her, you know, British people, if they say a word, it's like, oh gosh, I'm going to listen to this dude, but not on this Filipino dude, right? Well, anyway, let's go back to our topic. We've got a special guest, not special guest. It's like a coach here, you know, a coach in our group. His name is Tony Maritato. It's like I know David Bailiff keeps on calling him Gandalf. it's just the wisdom of this dude is just amazing. So without further ado, I'm bringing back Mr. Tony Maritato. Welcome back, sir. Thank you very much again for coming over in our show. I'm actually putting all your sticky notes here on my so all the wisdom that you've been teaching me. So Tony, I know you're busy, man, but I got this question, that I probably ask, with people who have their alternative career, alternative stuff. What is your biggest failure, Tony? And then how did you turn this around, sir? Mm-hmm.
What is my biggest failure? I don't know. Like, I make a lot of failures. I do. I make a lot of mistakes. I mean, we've had real estate failures that put us on the brink of bankruptcy. I've been in situations where, I thought this is it. Like, every successful entrepreneur I see on YouTube or on social media, they've gone bankrupt and they've bounced back. I don't want to be bankrupt, but I'm like, this is what's going to happen. Like, so here's one that I can share. So, when we moved into the Ohio market, everybody was like, you cannot come to Ohio, Middletown. Nobody's going to go to you. There's one practice. Everybody's gone there for 30 years. I was like, I don't care. They're so busy. I'll come and just get all the overflow, And so we did. We came into the market. I opened the clinic, hung a shingle, and patients started coming in. And so 2-3 years into it, a local orthopedic surgeon who had decades of experience was like, I don't know what you're doing. He's a spine surgeon. He's like, I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing an amazing job. My patients are getting better. I'm going to open a spine center and I want you to come along and be the physical therapist. And we're like, that's awesome, but I'm not going to be an employee. We'll come in as a partner, as an owner. I am not going to work for somebody. And I was like, okay, I respect that. So in my enthusiasm and in my excitement, now I've always loved real estate. We're talking alternative careers. Real estate is a huge part of that. Education is a huge part of that. And so we own some commercial property still in Florida, and we've done well with residential real estate. But in this situation, I was like, a spine center, we're going to have a physical therapy clinic. There's going to be surgeons and anesthesia and all this other stuff, massage and chiro. And this is incredible. I jumped in and I signed papers and I didn't totally understand what was going on. And when I did, I realized, no, you didn't actually buy a condo in this professional plaza. You actually are 20% partners with this orthopedic surgeon. Well, I didn't want to do that. But then I'm like, okay, that's fine. Surgeon, spine, they're always going to have millions and millions of dollars. Well, guess what? Within 2 or 3 years, the spine center goes bankrupt. Now there's a $2 million building. It's worth $1 million because this was back in 2009. The builder who built the building went bankrupt the minute we signed the closing documents. Like, everything came crashing down. Everything you can possibly imagine. The bank was suing the surgeon. The bank was suing us. We're like, we have incredible credit. We have a pristine history. We've never defaulted on anything. What is going on? That at that moment was probably the biggest failure of my life. And you want to put stress on top of a new husband and wife with a new baby in the house. Look at bankruptcy and then we can talk. But like anything, I think the reason why it's hard to talk about failure is because failure just depends on the time frame, right? If you would have asked me at that moment, that was my biggest failure. But as life has it, things turn around. That orthopedic surgeon and his partner got acquired by the hospital. The hospital signed a 5-year lease for the building, which now all of a sudden became mine to take it out of default. I caught up all of the mortgage payments on everything. I went from 20% ownership to 100% ownership. But with it, I got a lease of a 10,500 square foot building, 75% of it leased by the hospital, with 2 spine surgeons who were still doing surgeries. We were flooded with referrals, so ask me 10 years later, and it was an incredible good fortune. But at that moment, it was absolutely the worst failure of my life. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was completely devastated. And more than anything, I was devastated for my wife, right? Because I was always the pusher. She was the therapist at heart. She was the conservative. No, let's just, no, we don't need that. No, we don't need that. No, 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 no. And I was like, yeah. Let's open another clinic. Let's open a new business. Let's get this going. Come on, we can do it. We can do it. Together, we find the middle. But that's what I would say was absolutely the biggest failure that almost turned into catastrophe. Does that count?
Definitely, sir. Definitely. But before we harp on whatever Tony said there, I just want to give a shout out to Robert. Robert Jr. said that Captain Bailiff and I are convinced he never sleeps or he has a secret machine at home. What's your secret machine there, Tony, that he writes down his ideas while he sleeps? Like, do you use a pen and paper, or do you have a recorder when you do this?
No, actually, I don't do either of it. I get an idea. I get an idea, and if it's a good enough idea, it'll keep coming back. I go with the flow. If I throw something out there and there's no traction, it dies. If you guys go through my Facebook, you will see countless ideas that have died and died and died. Some get resurrected, some die again. But sleep is the key, man. You gotta sleep. Like, this is late for me. I would be in bed right now. Everybody in my house is in bed right now. I would be asleep right now, and I wouldn't wake up till 6:30, and when it's time to get the boys up and make breakfast and get them ready for the bus.
Oh gosh, but thank you, Tony, for waking up for me right now, right? So
Absolutely.
Janet said here, I love Anthony and Mike. We love you too, sister. That's Janet, I believe, inside the Facebook
Awesome
group. Well, anyway, I just would like to harp on what Tony was talking about. Every time, ladies and gentlemen, every time I ask that same question, it's the same question I ask for all our guests, 99.9% of our guests, ladies and gentlemen. When I ask that question, they will do this. Oh gosh, that's a hard question, Michael. You know why? Because they all treat their failure not as a failure, but as a challenge, ladies and gentlemen. Because the bigger the failure, the bigger the challenge, the bigger the victory, ladies and gentlemen. Tony had a very big challenge. Imagine that, whatever year that was, being down in debt, almost on the bankruptcy. That's hard, ladies and gentlemen. Having wife and kids, that's going to be really hard. And now, after 10 years now, it sounded like it's the best idea. So whatever you're going through right now, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're watching in my Facebook page or in the YouTube channel or in our group, in our private group, just hold on there. Just hang in there, ladies and gentlemen, because there's something inside you. That's what God put you in that situation. Grow in that situation. When you have a seed, ladies and gentlemen, you put that seed, right? You put that seed in a plant or in a soil. That soil is going to push you down. That gravity is going to push you down. But guess what? If you keep pushing out as a seed and eventually come out of the darkness, you're going to be a beautiful tree like Tony Maritato. Properly rooted, you got your branch, you got your beautiful leaves like Tony. Like me and Tony, we got white hair. And then you get the fruit of your labor. That's what they call fruit of their labor. You just have to keep pushing. Right now, we got COVID pushing us down. You got PDPM, PDGM, reimbursement. Those are given. Those are given, ladies and gentlemen, because the soil that was pushing down on that seed, that soil, that fertilizer, it's manure. It's manure, right? That's fertilizers. It's going to push you down, but it's going to eventually make you a big tree like Tony. Now I'm just following. I just want to be under the shade of Tony, ladies and gentlemen. Tony,
well, what's so ironic, Mike, is like, this is what we do. I mean, as clinicians, PTO, TSLP, it doesn't matter. Like, we come in, we help patients by providing them challenges that they can systematically overcome. And each time they overcome a challenge, we give them a harder challenge and a harder challenge. And it's like we lose sight of that. We don't apply that to our own lives. and talking about the current situation, I'm telling you, I've been yelling this from the rooftop. I have never seen a better opportunity than right now. In 20 years, I've never seen a better opportunity than right now for somebody to go out and start their own business. Whether you want to do mobile therapy, whether you want brick and mortar, whether you want to step out of patient care and clean out the attic and put that stuff into a digital course to help other clinicians. Between the technology that makes it incredibly effective, cost effective, between the opportunity, patients don't want to go to busy clinics. If you want to do mobile and go into their home one-on-one all day long, we've got telehealth that's covered right now through Medicare and other payers. And then even when it's not covered, there's huge opportunity there. There's opportunities for digital products and alliances. I mentioned on my personal Facebook page, there were 4 companies recently that are national companies that reached out to me because they saw my YouTube or somebody connected us. And they were like, hey, we want to be in this community, the community of therapists, clinicians, and so now we're working in partnership to try and figure out, okay, you guys are making the products like that, what was it? Newgate? Is that what it was called? Like that Newgate. I guarantee therapists are watching that commercial right now thinking, hey, we used to do that with TheraBand in the clinic. We'd tie it around the knee and we'd hook it over the foot and you'd have drop foot, but we never did anything with it, right? Now, I love that those guys produce that product. I don't want the liability of that product, but you know what I would do right now today? I would connect with that company. I would find what they're selling that for retail. I would build an offer that said, look, this is the cost of the product. This is my video course that teaches you how to use the product, how to apply the product, how to do all the stuff with it. And here's the price for it. Because the product by itself, probably not that effective without your knowledge and skill as a therapist. Your knowledge and skill without the product, probably not that effective. But you put the two of them together and the value of the sum is worth far more than the value of the individual parts. And that, again, like the opportunity is unreasonable, how much opportunity is out there. You just need to take action. Like you said earlier, you need to plant the seed. When's the best time to plant an oak tree? 20 years ago. When's the second best time? Right now, right? So we need to put those seeds in the ground right now. And it's never been a better time.
Oh gosh. That's what I've been talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Tony, for sharing that. That Newgate thing that we're showing, reach out to the owner or to the company, Benga and Strapacci. His last name is Strapacci. And gosh, you can get a sample trial on it. Like what Tony said, create a video. Get a link, like an affiliate link in Facebook, on YouTube, in Amazon, and then boom, you can sell that without investing on it. And then, of course, same thing what we do in Amazon. I can buy this at Amazon, create a review, sell the affiliate link, and guess what? If I don't like it, I could return it at Amazon anytime, right? And you've done the video. And then that's what Tony's talking about. Creating that influence, creating that relationship. There's a great question here, Tony. This is from Janet. Who motivates Tony? Because you got some motivation, Tony.
That is a good question. I love watching you guys. I love the new clinicians, the young clinicians. So I had a great call today. He's a newer grad. It's a male physical therapist doing pelvic floor. Like that is it's a unicorn out there. And so it's so exciting for me to talk to him and listen to him and see all the stuff that he's doing and see the new paradigm he is bringing into the profession. Because I'm a dinosaur. Mike, you came out of another profession, but I've been in this 20 years. I'm out there. I'm in the pasture. So I get excited watching newer therapists go out there and do cool stuff. I get excited with seasoned therapists who break away from the system, break the golden handcuffs and go out there and start doing their own thing. I live vicariously through every one of you who buys my course, who talks to me about what you're doing. You know, like that's why I share everything. I share it because I want you guys to see. I want to inspire somebody to see what the potential is. But then I get inspired by what you guys do and those of you who take action. I mean, it's just incredible to see. So that's what it is. I mean, it's just like when you see a patient, you know, you keep a patient out of a skilled nursing and in their own home, that fills your tank. For me, it takes one of those patients to counteract the negative effect of 20 other patients who maybe aren't appropriate for therapy, right? Same thing here. I love watching you guys. I love the excitement. I love seeing you guys do stuff because I don't really do stuff anymore. I just share ideas.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I mean, I want to be Tony someday, right? Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be Tony someday, type in Tony, right? Type in Tony. Well, anyway, Janet also said Tony is gold. You know,
I
he
appreciate
is
it.
literally gold, right? So, but before he became gold, he was probably heated and
Lead.
melted and became a real gold, right? You know how golds are made? I mean, Janet, right? They are heated and melted and everything, and that is true. Tony is really a gold. Thank you very much. Robert is saying, look at me trying to do this. I love his stuff in pelvic floor. I'm so proud of what he has done. I used to mentor him when he was just a student. I was worried for him at one point, but he found his way. It's amazing what we can become. You know what? That is so true. That is so true, Robert. We appreciate you for what you call this, for mentoring that student too. And I have several students too, and I have one student, Tony. He's a PT student, right? And he's came here and everything, and he just wants to surf. Well, I said, well, how about? And his mindset is just, I'm going to just work as an outpatient therapist, Michael. That's what the school trained me. And that's it. And I said, well, what do you really want? I like surfing, man. Well, why don't you become the physio surfer?
Heck yeah.
Set up physiosurfer.com. And I asked him, you know, a personal question. Does the people that surf in California, do they have money? And he said, yeah, man. The people who owns the front beach area, the condos there that I rent, they own those condos and they surf and they're rich. I said, why don't you become the PT for them? Put your surfboard there. You got your massage table. He's like, his eyes lit up. Man, I'm going to be the physio surfer.
And just think of the Instagram channel. Think of the Facebook channel. Like, who's the guy that? Well, I can't remember his name, so I'm not going to bring up the story. But yeah, they are doing amazing stuff. Mike, if we have time, I want to share a couple ideas that I've just been, you know, dying to share with your group in particular. Because like I said, I mean, I don't want to just talk. I don't want just mindset. I want actual things that people watching this can turn around tomorrow, do, and put money in their bank account. That doesn't cost them anything. Sound good?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. So I alluded to it.
I just would like to give a shout out to Stephen Dunn. What is going on, Stephen Dunn? It's like if you need to learn about Pilates or something, you got to reach out to this dude. You know, you got to reach out to this dude. So, yeah, go ahead, Tony.
All right. So alternative careers, right? Like I said, my idea for you guys forever has been just get inside your head. Look for those little nuggets of information. And there's really two ways that you guys can do it. So I don't have any affiliate links. I don't have any connection to this company. The platform that I would recommend anybody use is Thinkific. It's totally free to get started. You can sell up to 3 courses. They don't take anything. The only fees you pay are the processing for like Stripe or PayPal. But basically, what I wish you guys would do is just look at your day. You know, if you're stuck in patient care and you don't want to be in patient care anymore, look at the efficiencies that you've developed. Look at the systems that you've developed. How do you make it through your day, whether you're a Part A therapist, Part B therapist, pediatric, whatever. And just start to share that information. Drop it into a video file. It doesn't have to be high quality. Nobody's looking for studio quality. My camera didn't work tonight. I'm on a lousy webcam, but you're not here for my beautiful face. You're here for the information. And so you can literally start creating, like Mike said, these little $10 modules that you drop it onto a Thinkific platform. You don't need to know web design. You don't need to know anything. It's very intuitive. And you can put it out in the marketplace and see if anybody's interested. You know, like I've done stuff on Udemy, udemy.com. It doesn't cost me anything to do it. I put it out there. I looked on the account the other day and there was $500 and something waiting for me to withdraw. There are tons of platforms. You have the knowledge in your head. We just need to suck it out of there somehow and make it available to the people who need it. So think about that stuff, guys. Like Mike said, it could be a $5 product, $10 product. Students are spending $150,000 on a clinical education that won't even come close to the kind of value you can put out there for them in 10, 20 minutes. You know, if you want to do stuff with like a virtual CI and have students follow you around, you can totally do it. You can start a membership, $10 a month. Any student can come with me, see what real patient care is like, get you out of the classroom, get you away from practicing on other students. I've been doing it with St. Augustine students. It's a phenomenal, I mean, my dream for that is a St. Augustine student. St. Augustine is a manual heavy program. I'm not a manual therapist. They come and they shadow me for a couple days online. Then they go to Vince Gutierrez and they shadow him and they learn MDT. And then they go with Mike and they see what Mike's doing on a mobile basis. And they go with David Bailiff and they see what a cash therapist is like. Like, think about that. You know, $10, $20, $50 for them to follow each of you. Tremendous value. And I have never met a patient, because this is the sticking point therapists always try to say. I've never met a patient to this day who I'm like, hey, Nancy, check it out. I've got a student on the computer with me. The student's doing a virtual CI rotation because they can't be in the clinic because of COVID. Do you care if we record this and I share it with the student? No? Awesome. The patients love it. They're like, hey, hi, I'm here. I'm in Ohio. What's your name? Oh, good luck. How long have you know, it's just value is out there. Money is abundant. I don't know what else to say. I mean, there is more money flowing through this economy than I've ever seen. And so that's it. That was my little thing. All of it's free. You don't have to pay for any of it. Get started, put something out there and see what sticks.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I like what Tony said, ladies and gentlemen. Money is abundant. It's out there, ladies and gentlemen. Stop thinking the scarcity mindset. You know, here in our area, when I was asking other therapists, hey, can I start a therapy clinic here? They'll be like, no, it's hard. No, it's difficult. No. Well, guess what? You asked Tony, you asked David, you asked the people around. It's like, oh, yeah, that was the perfect time, Michael. I'm like, gosh, what's the difference? You got to follow the right people, ladies and gentlemen. You got to learn to plant your seed in the right area.
You know, Mike, you know what's really interesting? So this is a phenomenon that's interesting. Since COVID came in, we closed our clinic for 2 months, right? Completely shut off cash flow for 2 months. Now, it didn't affect me at all because I had my digital courses and my digital content. I started digital income January of 2019. That was my first step into any kind of money making online. As of now, I make a full-time clinical salary all online. I, of course, make my money in the clinic and all the other real estate and other stuff. But in a year and 3 quarters, I was able to completely replace a full-time clinical salary with just online income. And it's not me teaching other clinicians. It's other stuff. It's little digital courses for patients and everything, you know. I don't want you to think I'm one of those guys that makes my money teaching people how to make money. I actually have the chops to back up what I'm doing. But the point that I'm getting at is, so in the clinic, we opened back up. Patients, geriatrics, Medicare patients were coming in. They were like, I just want to pay. I just want to give money. Like, listen, we have our retirements. We got a refund from the tax credits that came out. The COVID did not affect us financially. And in fact, we're making more money now than we ever did because we're not going out to dinner and we're not going out to movies. And I had geriatrics on Medicare being like, Tony, just take this check. I just want you to have this money. And they were putting like $100, $200, $300 checks in my hands. I'm like, no, really, it's okay. But like, that's the thing. We think, well, they're on Medicare. They can't afford $20. They can afford $50. I'm sorry. Like, they are more than capable of paying for what they want. Can everybody do it? No. Can enough people do it? Yes. And anybody watching this, you're not looking for everybody. You're not even looking for 1% of everybody. You're looking for the 1% of the 1%, and these are individuals that have high net values, high net worth. There's nothing else for them to do with their money. Their kids already have everything they need. Everybody's got everything they need. So I always share this story. Like, if I was reinventing myself again and I was coming out now into the marketplace, I would probably seriously look at only selling $10,000 plans of care. I would only accept 10 clients at any given time. And it would be comparable to like a vacation, like a retreat. It's like, okay, you've been dealing with this shoulder issue. Here's the deal. It's $10,000. You get 24/7 access. This is what we're going to do. You spend $10,000 going to the beach on vacation for a week. You're going to spend $10,000 on a month with me. And I am going to whip you into shape because you, the patient, you need to do stuff. What you don't know is how to get yourself to do it. That's what I bring, right? And you know what? $10,000 for somebody to change the life of that individual for the last 2 or 3 years that they're going to be on this planet, in a heartbeat. Like, they will buy that. Now, I don't want to be in that world. I don't want to do that kind of stuff anymore. But if I was, that is what I would be doing right now. And we know there's docs. I was just talking to Carly. There's a doc in Naples, $25,000 to be part of his concierge group. I think he only takes 300 clients a year. The 25,000 is just the buy-in, but they don't care. What else are they going to do with it? That's the best investment they are ever going to make on their life. So these are the kinds of things we got to break out of those models. Why didn't a physical therapist invent that Newgate? Because we're stuck. We're shackled in the idea that we can't produce a product. What happens if we get sued? What happens? What happens? Somebody needs to get out there and do this stuff.
That is so true. That is so true, ladies and gentlemen. Oh gosh, thank you very much, Tony, for putting up the light on us right now. So somebody is asking, how do you establish I believe this is Janet again. How do you establish sponsorship with products, email company, or call or post? And you know what? Email them. The worst thing that they can say is no.
I did that, Janet. I emailed when I first started doing Amazon reviews. I started emailing random companies and be like, hey, I love this product. I want to review it. They're like, nope, we don't do it. Nope. Now they're coming to me, so it's just like anything. How do you get your first patients when nobody knows you? You go out there and shake hands and kiss babies. Now, 20 years in, the referrals just come in. I'm like, I got to do another eval. Come on, stop calling. But that's just the way it is, So Janet, you will get there because you have the intention and the motivation to do it. And I love the stuff that you're doing, but we'll chat afterward. I know you messaged me. I just haven't had a chance to get back to it.
There you go. Let me just finish this, Tony. This Robert. So he's, Tony, not sure if it will take off, but I really think it is needed to have a PT for miniature painters. Well, guess what?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm short, so I'm gonna buy that. So send me the link, man. So yeah.
I love it, Robert. I think that would be something you absolutely can build a niche blog around. That's something you absolutely can focus on being the premier PT provider for. That is a cool niche.
Yeah, I mean, not just for miniature painters, for small people like me, short people like me, women. and actually the different diseases that,
Now,
whatever.
Mike, I don't think he's talking. Are you saying like people that are small in stature? Because I think he's talking about people who are painting miniatures.
Well, I'm see, I don't know. I all I know is short people, miniature painters. Okay, so
They're a painter who's short. No, I think they're painting tiny things.
Oh gosh. Well, you can take my eyeglasses now. So, all right. So I didn't know. See, money is abundant by Stephen Dunn. All right. Before I let you go, Tony, where can we reach you? What's your email? What's your website and everything, sir?
Awesome. So you guys can find me on Facebook. Facebook is the best way. Just look up Anthony Maritato. Certainly my YouTube channel. I've got Learn Medicare Billing, which is kind of the clinic facing YouTube channel. And then I've got Total Therapy Solutions, which is my knee replacement YouTube channel. But without a doubt, Facebook is the best way to reach me.
All right. Again, thank you very much, Tony. Robert said, yep, hit it on the nose. Yeah, man. Yeah, Tony. Robert. So, all right. Well, again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. But before I let you go, thank you very much, Tony. Appreciate you, sir, for your time and your knowledge and everything that you do for our group. But before I let you go, ladies and gentlemen, always remember the word FAST, F-A-S-T, letter F. Find friends that will push you to your next level because you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. Tonight, I hang out with Tony. He's awesome. He's amazing. He's excellent. I feel like, I want to be like him too, right? You want to be like Tony, right? Tony is the man, just like Stephen said. Tony is the man. Dr. Steve said, good guy, Tony here. There you go, sir. Thank you very much for watching. So letter F, find friends that will push you to your next level. Next letter is letter A. Tony's been teaching this. Tony's been telling about this. Take action, guys. It's not going to do me good. It's not even going to do Tony good if you guys don't take action. Take action by reaching out to him on his website. Take action by following his method. The Thinkific, Udemy, however you pronounce that. Take action, guys. Next letter is letter S. Shoot for the moon. Why? If you keep shooting for the moon, you're going to miss it. You're going to be landing with the stars. You're going to fail, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to fail. You're going to be rejected, but it doesn't matter how many times you failed or fallen or got sick. What matters is how many times you get up and do this all over again. Tony keeps on doing it again and again, right? Just keep going. Just keep going. And last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, is letter T. It's not teach it, but Tony. Tony it, ladies and gentlemen. Tony it. Why? Because when you teach it, you forget. Oh, I forgot already. When you hear it, you forget. When you see it, you remember. But when you actually teach it like Tony, you actually understand it more. Again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you. Today's Thursday. We will see you again next week. Watch Monday. We got that show by Bert, the home health contract show, and Tuesday and Thursday again next week. We will see you again. Be awesome. Be great. Be excellent. And I will see you later, Facebook friends.